Om Shri Sai Ram. My most prayerful salutations at the lotus feet of Mother Sai, and my very loving Sai Ram to all sisters and brothers who are here. It's indeed a privilege of mine that I am amongst all of you on this satsang. Actually, I always regard that any such session which we have, it's a great learning for all of us. And this session also has a very special significance for me today that I will be sharing with you. Let me tell you that when I joined Sri Sathya Sai University in the year 1986, something happened over there. So I would like to start from there. First ever time when Bhagwan spoke to me was on September 18th, 1986. So at that time, I was told that Bhagwan was looking for me. He was calling me by my name. And by the time he reached me, I kneeled. And he asked me, "What is your name?" I said, "Amar Vivek." He looked into my eyes and said, "Hamara Vivek?" That expression left me speechless. And then he added, he said, "If you are pure, you are Hamara Vivek. If you are not pure, then I will hammer Vivek." No word of Bhagwan is without a meaning. He always makes our life so meaningful that we really feel that we should live life again and again with Bhagwan. Now, Bhagwan's ways are very mysterious indeed. When we joined the course, MBA course, it was the first batch, full of, I would say, events. So our classes would start at 7:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. because our course started on 21st August, whereas normally the session would start from 1st June. So we were already late by a couple of months. So we were working overtime. Now, everything was a challenge. We were assigned breakfast serving in the hostel canteen. So one fine morning when we got up, there was no water in the hostel. So we were 28 boys, 14 of us were supposed to serve breakfast. We organized a team of hostel boys and we lined up to the hilltop where the water tank was there, and we fetched water in chain, and it took us 40 to 45 minutes to fetch good amount of water so that the breakfast could be cooked and the boys would be ready in time for the school and college both. So in the process, we realized that we would be running late. So we told the other 14 boys that you quickly finish the breakfast, you reach the institute in time, and we would be joining you. So 14 of us, we didn't even have the breakfast. We rushed to the college, but by the time we entered the classroom, we were straight away late by 15 minutes. So instead of 7:30, we reported at 7:45. By chance, as the luck would have it, I was the first one amongst those. As I was taking off my slippers and entering the classroom, the dean who was taking our class rushed to the door. He banged the door on my face and closed the door. And he said, "You are not allowed because you're late by 15 minutes. We were shell-shocked. I personally felt, chastised, also very, very, it was disturbing for me. And I had a disqualification. Before joining MBA, I had finished law. So that legal background proved to be a hurdle in my way. I was all the time thinking that how can the dean be so, I use the word impertinent. He cannot behave like this. I was serving boys the breakfast and I got late. I did not have the breakfast myself. And by that afternoon, we were served a notice by the dean that for reporting 15 minutes late, you should be marked absent for 1 full week. We were very agitated, very agitated. That day, unfortunately, I took a decision to leave Sri Sathya Sai Institute, to pack my bags and to come back. I could never expect this behavior from a dean in Sri Sathya Sai Institute. Very unfortunate decision. I packed my bags. The evening Karnataka Express would normally leave at around 9 p.m. 6:30 p.m. or so, everything was ready for me to leave Sri Sathya Sai Hostel. One of my senior classmates entered my room, looked at my packed bags and said, "Amar, are you leaving?" I said, "Yes, brother, I'm leaving." He said, "Come on, what has happened to you?" He took me to the top of the hostel. We call it D floor, open to sky. Often we used to go there just to, communicate directly with the sky. He took me there. Next 20-25 minutes, he admonished me like anything. He says, "Do you want a death sentence for yourself? You know what will happen? You know your parents, how lucky they are that they have sent their child, their only child, the male child. My sister had already joined there." He says, "To the institute, and you're leaving this institute." And one more thing, my sister had joined 2 years prior to me, Anantapur campus. When I joined, she left Anantapur campus because my parents back home were alone. So she sacrificed her admission for my sake. And here was me leaving the Sathya Sai Institute and going back. Then this brother told me one thing. He says, amongst thousands and thousands of births, one gets a chance to be around Bhagwan. And among thousands and thousands of people who come near Bhagwan, only few get the chance to be in his institute. And even amongst thousands who join his institute, few rare ones get, personal audience with Bhagwan the way you have been getting. And you are so egoistic that you are wanting to leave the institute and go back. Please don't carry this stigma for the rest of your life. And then the last sentence which he told me, which I remember till today, he says, "This Bhagwan is very different Bhagwan. He's not like other Bhagwans." This is the precise words which he used. You have to establish a relationship with this Bhagwan. If you establish relationship, even if you try, he will not leave you. You are here not for MBA, you are here for Bhagwan. Please don't ever commit this mistake of imagining that you are here to get a degree, which you could have got anywhere in the world, including your city, wherever you are from, Chandigarh. You are here for Bhagwan. And suddenly it occurred to me, what a blunder I was about to commit. I immediately broke into tears, kept on crying for a long time. And then finally, I apologized to Bhagwan, to everyone, that I had made a foolish decision to come back. So I, with Bhagwan's grace, stayed back. And next day in the evening, because darshans for boys would be in the evening only, when I went there, Bhagwan came and asked the next boy sitting to me, not me, the next boy, "How are you? How are you?" And then he asked his name is Ramesh. He asked, "How are you awake?" He didn't say Vivek. He said, "How are you awake? Are you awake? Are you awake?" 2-3 times he repeated this question. And then he turned towards me. He says, "Sir, I know everything. I know everything." Well, those words of Bhagwan, they were so comforting, so loving. They filled my heart, and I cried and cried a lot that, "Bhagwan, please," such a naive I would have been had I left yesterday. I cannot forget that incident. Leaving Bhagwan is living death. One cannot encounter this. And this he proved, that through the dean, my prayerful salutations to my dean. He was such a hard taskmaster, a disciplinarian, and I just undermined the Leela which Bhagwan played. Bhagwan wanted to teach this lesson to me, that you have not come here for an MBA course. You have come here for me. And same is true to each one of us. We have not joined any organization. We have not joined any, institution. We are here for Bhagwan, because knowing Bhagwan is divinity, and coming events unfolded it. So soon Bhagwan started taking our classes. We were so lucky. I'm sure brother Raghav would be knowing it. First batch MBA, Bhagwan used to walk to our classroom and take our classes. So one day he walked to our classroom and word ZBB was written on the blackboard. So we were very enthused that Bhagwan is going to take our class. So then he said, today I am going to teach you ZBB. So do you know ZBB means zero-based budgeting? And then he explained, zero-based budgeting is, you have 10 rupees in your pocket. You get up in the morning. You say, I have 100 rupees worth liabilities. How do you spend 10 rupees? You are confused whole day, looking at 100 rupees worth liabilities and not able to spend 10 rupees. But zero-based budgeting is reverse thinking. I have 10 rupees. 10 rupees is in my pocket. I must spend 10 rupees in a wise manner. This is zero-based budgeting. But let me tell you what I am going to teach you. Bhagwan said, I am going to teach you zero-based bhakti. What is zero-based bhakti? He said, do you know why Avatar comes down? Avatar comes down so that humanity rises above. I have come to lift you all. Descent of God is for ascent of humanity. So, what is so special? Special thing is, you commit mistake and I grant pardon. You go on committing mistakes and I go on granting pardons. That is the beauty. And what is zero-based bhakti? Then he said, every morning when you get up, just tell Bhagwan. This is the only prayer he said you need to offer. Bhagwan, I am born today. I don't know what happened yesterday. I don't know what happened day before yesterday. My birth is only today. Whatever I have done yesterday, I surrender at your feet. Please accept me today as I am. You start with a zero every day. Don't carry the baggage of yesterday. And I grant you pardon. Please start today. Don't worry about what had happened yesterday. Every time when you start, make a new start and Sai will accept you. In no avatar, perhaps, we have seen such a declaration that avatar says, I will pardon you, accept you every time when you are willing to start. So Sai Avatar has given us this bounty, this benediction, this gift that even if I want to start today, he will hold my hand and not leave it. So my merits, demerits, they are meaningless. What matters is how I dedicate myself in this life from now onwards. Anytime I start, I will be rest assured that Bhagwan is not going to leave me. And how he proved it thousands and thousands of times in our lives, that is the beauty. And each one of us, we are bestowed with hundreds of such experiences. And I will seek pardon from everyone to share some of those experiences with all of us. Every smallest thing he'll grant. It so happened that Bhagwan had set a standard. And that standard was that our institute used to grade us on 4 points: academics, sports, extracurricular activities, and hostel program where we would participate in the hostel activities, be it serving food, cooking, or whatever voluntary activities. In each one of us, in each one of the four activities, you have to excel. And excel means you have to score a distinction. Now, I had gone there after 10th class. I had not studied maths. I did BA, then I did law and joined MBA. So I was out of touch. And there I was required to study operations research, statistical methodology, financial accounting, and all were sounding Greek and Rome to me. And I didn't do very well. When I didn't do very well in the first semester exams, Bhagwan was very unhappy with me. He stopped talking to me. He stopped looking at me. He stopped coming to me. And it was very torturous thing that every day he would call us, sit for hours together with us, and suddenly one fine day we found Bhagwan is looking the other way. So those days, we had some holidays, about 7 to 10 holidays in October. So somebody, some elder person, he gifted me a book on Shirdi Baba's life, Sai Satcharitra, and he asked me, why don't you read it in 7 days? So Thursday to Thursday, I finished the book, reading the Parayanam. Next day probably was Thursday and the colleges were to reopen. So I concluded the last chapter till Wednesday night, thinking that college will open and I'll not have time. And I performed Arati on Thursday morning. Suddenly a thought occurred in my mind that if I would be at any other place, I would have distributed sweets, prasadam. But in hostel it is very difficult because we cannot go out and fetch anything. Then a thought occurred in my mind that on Thursday afternoon, paisam would be served in the lunchtime in the college canteen. So I will rush from the college, enter the canteen, get hold of the paisam tub and distribute paisam to everyone. This was my plan. The moment I entered the canteen that day in the lunchtime, the teacher in charge was standing there. He asked me, Amar, are you free for some time? I want to give you some work. So I thought that the plan would be disturbed. And if I want to listen to my teacher, then perhaps he'll give me some work and I'll not be able to distribute prasadam. So I was hesitant in saying yes or no. He looked at my eyes and said, so no, if you are not free, then I'll give this work to someone else. But then suddenly remembering that no, in Sri Satya Sai Institute, discipline is the medium of instruction. So I said, no, sir, I have come here to serve. Please give me any work. I'll carry out any work. So he took me inside, showed number of sweet boxes. He said, Bhagwan has sent these sweets to the hostel. I want a senior boy to distribute so that everyone gets each one of them. And when I heard this, it brought such a big joy to me that a very small thing, which I asked in the morning, that Bhagwan has granted me. And a mother who grants the smallest of the wishes, how loving that mother is, one cannot even countenance. But it is not easy to understand. It is only our job to bask in the glory of the love. So we also committed that mistake. Bhagwan took us to Bombay. We were part of the Bhaj Govindam drama group. And there Bhagwan gave us money also that go and spend in the city. So we were there for about 10, 12 days, 45 of us, and performing Bhaj Govindam drama. So there we thought, monkey mind, that let us give a gift to Bhagwan. So we contributed 200 rupees each and purchased a very nice carpet for Bhagwan. We realized that there was a particular spot which did not have a carpet and Bhagwan's feet, they were getting roughed up there. So we nicely packed the carpet. In the evening, Bhagwan was to call us in Dharm Kshetra. We were all ready. A Sevadal member turns up and says, Bhagwan has called all of you. Please come empty-handed. and suddenly we were crestfallen, as if we were caught red-handed. So with that drooping shoulders, we went and stood in front of Bhagwan. Bhagwan looked at all of us, smiled. खाली हाथ आया? सभी खाली हाथ आया? खाली हाथ आना तो झोली भर के ले जाना, पहले से कुछ लाना तो मेरे से क्या लेके जाना. You know, we were trying to win the master of masters through a carpet. We were not sure that what was in store for us. Bhagwan really blasted us out of shape and say, I don't like this, contributing money, purchasing a gift. You think that you can please me like this. And then suddenly he turned his guns towards me. क्या तू gang leader है इनका? And I knew that today Bhagwan is going to give us, and really he was very unhappy. So, but somewhere inside the heart, still it was trying to pop out. Bhagwan, we want to offer you something. हाँ, करो. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for all of you to offer me something. क्या गिफ्ट देते हो मेरे को? तो मुंह से तो फिर निकला, भगवान, we want to give you a carpet. हाँ, very beautiful. Unroll the carpet of your heart. I will walk on it. We still were not able to reach where he wanted to take us. I am standing outside the gate of your heart, brothers. Bhagwan used this word. And you think that by closing the door, you will get what I want to give you? You are not opening the hearts. It's your problem. I am always there outside your hearts. Why are you not taking from me what I have come to give you? Give me the gift of your love for me. If you have the bond for me, that's enough for me. So this is how he has been teaching us, telling us, please make a relationship which is everlasting. Don't try to fall into the trap of trying to win me through those mundane things of the world in which you get embroiled throughout your lives. Here I am to give my life to you. Why did I come to you? I come to you only for this reason, that I want to take you from where I have come. So we all commit these mistakes, not realizing that in the small little things which he has given, small little joys which he has given, the everlasting joy is much ahead, which we all must yearn to attain. Series of such incidents happened right in front of our eyes. It so happened that once Bhagwan came in the bus with us. We were going to Kodaikanal. So he was, this Bhagwan is a very jovial Bhagwan. He's not a serious Bhagwan who will, like to be worshipped, in a solitude. This Bhagwan loves joy. He gives joys and gives us that feeling that he's one with us at our level. So all of us were crowding Bhagwan in the bus, trying to be near him. And as we were closing into him, he said, hey, look. So he's showing us in front of the bus. Look, what do you see? What do you see? So we saw Bhagwan's car is going in front of us. And on both sides of the roads, in rows, the villagers are standing. They are paying their obeisance to the car, imagining that Bhagwan is inside the car. So somebody is breaking coconut, somebody is throwing garlands on Bhagwan's car. See, what do you see? What do you see, Bhagwan says. So we were still trying to comprehend what we are seeing. See, this car is in good company. Because it is in good company, it is taking all my pranams. The pranams which were supposed to come to me are being given to my car, because car is in God's company. That is the effect of good company. And what is the effect of bad company? I am in your company, so I am losing my pranams. So good company and bad company, how Bhagwan is teaching us. You know, the Vedic truths, the way he taught us in such simple and very, very unassuming manner, we could never countenance that, you know, behind each of these things, what Bhagwan wanted us to learn. You know, we were all having food. We were sitting in the Kodaikanal. Such lavish food would be served to us. Then Bhagwan's table would be right there. So we would offer Brahma Arpanam. Then we would look at Bhagwan. He will just put a morsel in his mouth and then we would start. One fine day, we offered Brahma Arpanam and Bhagwan was only looking towards us, not starting. So we were praying that Bhagwan should start. Already dishes in front of us were so attractive, we were barely able to resist. But then Bhagwan said, "Ha, aap log khao." So then we said, "No, Bhagwan, you must start." "Today I don't want to start. None of you offered food to me." He said, "No, no, Bhagwan, we offered." He says, "How did you offer?" We said, "Bhagwan, just now we recited Brahma Arpanam." Come on, you are all chores. If tape recorder plays Brahma Arpanam, Brahma, that's not offering. I want your heart, sir. I don't want your mouth. Your mouth is blabbering so many things. Are you offering me from your heart? When you close your eyes, recite Brahma Arpanam, see what is there in your plate. Imagine I am sitting with you. Start feeding me. And I imagine that I am feeding you. And then the joy you will see, that joy will be beyond description. This is offering. Wherever you are in this, any corner of the world, whenever you are going to have food, just imagine I am sitting by your side. You are offering me, you are feeding me, I am feeding you. How many times he will have to remind us that he is there all the time with us. It is we who are not able to see him. It so happened very recently. You know, now I have become a lawyer, so I always drape myself in coat and gown, wearing a band. Not able to sometimes fathom that he's sitting right next to me. So I was driving the car and I thought Bhagwan is sitting by my side on the left seat. Yes, he's sitting. Then I said, "Bhagwan, can I see you? You're sitting by my side." And suddenly a car passes by my side and I saw a sticker of Bhagwan's picture at the behind windshield of that car where Bhagwan says, "Start the day with love, fill the day with love." I see the sticker. Bhagwan, so many cars have this sticker. Is it not by chance that this car passed by my side? The monkey mind will never pardon you. You know, he'll keep driving you astray. So Bhagwan realized my predicament that no, this boy needs a better proof. So suddenly from nowhere, I see a rainbow in the sky. And then I say, "Sorry, Bhagwan, I shouldn't doubt you. This rainbow has not come just like that, I know." So Bhagwan only wants to tell us that he is there all the time with us. All we have to do is just not even exert ourselves, assert between ourselves that he is always all the time with us. You know, when I finished Bhagwan, education at Bhagwan's feet, that was 1988, and Bhagwan held my hand like this and asked me, "क्या इधर तुमको फ्री एजुकेशन मिला, भगवान का प्यार मिला, तुम सब टाइम मेरे पास रहे, मेरे को रिटर्न में क्या देता है? So lovingly he asked me, and I said, Bhagwan, anything which you say. He held my hand firmer. Sure? Promise? I said, yes, Bhagwan. Whatever you say. Then he says, don't bring bad name to Sai. When you wear vibhuti outside on your forehead, remember, everybody is going to say you are Sai student. Be good, do good, see good. This is the way to God, sir. See, what is the expectation from Bhagwan? From us by Bhagwan? He wants us to be pure. He wants our actions to be pure. For all the love which he is giving to us, he says, be a better human being. Better and still better human being. And we still are somewhere lost in the din of the world, not able to see why Bhagwan came. You know, sometimes I laugh at myself when I see that there is going to be a third incarnation. Prema Sai is going to be here. First Shirdi Sai came, then Satya Sai came, now Prema Sai is going to come. Sorry, I don't believe in this. I believe we all are Prema Sais. We are meant to do what Bhagwan wanted us to do. We are all Prema Sais. If we don't realize this simple truth today, that Bhagwan has been telling us, my life is my message, and a time will come when your lives will be my message. If that time has not come today, then this time will never come. Our lives have to be his message. This is high time that we must conduct ourselves in the manner as if we are carrying Bhagwan all the time. We shall not fail Sri Satya Sai. We shall not fail Sri Satya Sai mission, because now the onus is on us that through our actions we are able to show that we belong to Bhagwan. Bhagwan belong to us. When he says, you are my near and dear, how can we be near and dear unless we do what Avatar wanted us to do? We are still busy in those things, not believing, really not believing in the strengths, in the love which he has given us. So, Bhagwan said, go. You have done LLB, be a practicing lawyer. I said, Bhagwan, I don't want to do legal practice. After you have called me here to do MBA, now you want me to go back and practice law? He says, why? What is the meaning of LLB? LLB means live and love Baba. If you love me, first you live on my words, sir. If you live on my words, then you love me. Otherwise, you'd say 1,000 times, Baba, I love you. This is all joke. You have to live on my words. जाओ, काम करो, और जो मैंने आपको बोला है उसको याद रखो. Then only you will love me. So Bhagwan is always with us. And then I told Bhagwan, Bhagwan, I want to set up a free school, hospital and a vocational school in a village. That I will set up for you. You set up your legal practice, I set up this project for you. So Bhagwan sends me off with so much of love. That was 16th August 1988. And I came here, started working. And then I was able to draw a project report, revert back to Bhagwan. And Bhagwan very lovingly named it Sri Satya Sai Gramin Jagrati. I opened the first page, showed to Bhagwan, Bhagwan, we need 27 acres of land. Bhagwan kept his hand on my shoulder and said, you need my hand. My hand is always with you. Jao, kaam karo. I am with you. That evening, I was returning in the Karnataka Express. So there were some devotees who were sitting there. They looked at me and said, "Sir, today evening you were in darshan line. We saw you. Bhagwan was talking to you for a long time and you were showing some papers to him. What is this all about?" So the conversation broke that Bhagwan has blessed that he will establish a free hospital, school and a vocational school for which we are looking for land. So they said, "Sir, we are from Yamunanagar in Haryana. Why don't you come there? We will show you a piece of land." So I told them, "Sir, Yamunanagar is 110 kilometers from Chandigarh. How will I commute between the two cities and work?" He said, "Just now you said Bhagwan's hand is going to do everything and not you." I said, "Yes, sorry. You are right. Bhagwan is going to do everything." Next morning, I landed at Yamunanagar. They took me to a village. We spoke to the village headman. The village headman says, "We have 27 acres land. We are ready to gift it to you." First shock to me, word 27 acres is written on the first page of that report, which was blessed by Bhagwan few days back. So how did he come to know that we needed 27 acres land? So I said, "Sir, perfectly fine. We will go to Bhagwan. We will seek his permission and come back to you." He says, "Please wait here. I am calling the meeting of the panchayat. We will just now, pass the resolution, hand you over the resolution of the gift. You go and place that resolution at Bhagwan's feet." That Sarpanch was not a devotee of, so-called devotee of Bhagwan. Sorry, he was a devotee. So they passed the resolution. It took about 2 hours. He hands me over that resolution written in Hindi. At that time, I see the word Dadwa, the village name. So out of my innocence, I ask him, "Sir, what is the meaning of this word Dadwa?" Because Bhagwan can ask me any question. So he says, "Sir, इस जगह पे सांपों के दरड़ थे, उसकी वजह से इस जगह का नाम दड़वा पड़ गया." I started crying. We all know word Puttaparthi has the same meaning in Telugu. It is land of snake holes. I did not know that Bhagwan was so ahead of me. He had promised that he will do everything. So with that resolution, I reached Puttaparthi. I was holding that resolution in my hand and I saw Bhagwan coming towards me. Suddenly a thought occurred in my mind. I should have translated this resolution in English. What a pity. I thought Bhagwan does not know Hindi. Bhagwan came to me, and now it will be again shocking for me because what I am going to tell you. He looked at the date, 17 July, and now it strikes me today is 17 July. It is again Bhagwan's miracle that we are here meeting on the same day when I got the gift of the land. So Bhagwan said, 17 July. Do you know what is this date? That year, it was Guru Purnima. That is Guru Purnima. 17 July. Do you know the significance of Guru Purnima? On Guru Purnima, I take a vow that so long as the wish of my child is not fulfilled, sun will not set. Jao kaam karo. I am with you. And again, out of my innocence or ignorance, I would say, I asked Bhagwan, Bhagwan, shall we start the construction of boundary wall? Go, serve, do, love, service, love and seva. Don't think of buildings, think of love and seva. Your job is love and seva, rest is my job. Go and work. And ever since that day, Bhagwan has been living to his promise. We have seen what all he has been doing. He has been carrying out each and everything. And today we have, it's 32 years. So we have wonderful school till 10th class, hospital and a vocational school. It is totally run on Bhagwan's principles, totally free of cost. And we know who's running it. It is Bhagwan who's doing it. He has been living to his word, because he says, if you follow my word, then I am there to fulfill each one of your wish. There have been series of incidents when Bhagwan has been taking care of us. I remember a particular beautiful incident of 1st January 99. We all know January is very cold in Chandigarh. So early morning, I had a visit of the doctor who is serving in the hospital. He says, Amar, we need 100 packets of vibhuti. That, we have big vibhuti packets in Puttaparthi, 100 grams, 200 grams, like that. So he says, I need 100 packets. I said, sir, I just have one or two. If somebody goes to Puttaparthi, we'll request him and we'll get a packet of vibhutis. He says, I want it today, because patients who come to the hospital, they are asking for vibhuti. They are not taking medicine. And then he says, today evening, I am here till today evening. Please arrange vibhuti. Now, I did not know how to arrange vibhuti. 100 packets. That day, I go to the court at around 10 in the morning. I found parking packed to the capacity, as usual. So I'm looking for a slot to park my car. I find one. I'm reversing my car, looking behind on the road berm. I see some yellow golden papers. Since morning, vibhuti was doing rounds in my mind. So I thought every yellow paper I am going to look like vibhuti packet. So I ignore them. Yet I lock my car, look backwards once again, walk up to the place, and I find 100 packets of vibhuti spread there. I can't believe my eyes. One packet was open, I tasted, it was vibhuti. Prashanti Nilayam, Baba's vibhuti. I immediately come back to my car, look for an envelope. I am putting those packets in that envelope, counting also. There is a big rush of people around me. This lawyer gentleman, what is he picking from the road? 99 full packets and one open packet of vibhuti. I immediately rush back to my house and my whole clothes are full of vibhuti because the vibhuti is flying in the air. I call this doctor gentleman, sir, just now an air courier has come. You got the vibhuti. And very lovingly he comes and I retain some of them for prasadam. So many friends of mine came to know that there is prasadam of vibhuti available with me. They called me that we are coming to collect vibhuti. One gentleman walks up to my office in the evening and he says, Amar, note down the address of the courier. I said, who? He said, the courier who delivered vibhuti to you. I said, who delivered it to me? He says, you don't know. So then he's narrating the incident. His brother-in-law was the convener of Sri Satya Sai Seva Samiti, Shimla. On 31st night, he was traveling, coming back from Puttaparthi. So he was traveling with a roadways bus from Delhi to Shimla. So what he had done, he had booked 2 tickets, one for himself and then a carton of vibhuti he had kept on the seat because he didn't want to keep it anywhere else. It was prasadam. At Chandigarh bus station, he got down at around 2 in the morning. He made a phone call to his wife that I shall be reaching around 5 in the morning, so you open the door. And when he went back to his seat, he found the vibhuti missing. Whole night he was crying that some thief has taken away vibhuti. And what will happen to this vibhuti? He'll throw it at some place. Neither he realized nor I realized that the same thief who used to steal butter in Krishna times had stolen vibhuti this time. And he threw it at a place, I would say spread it at a place where he had reserved the parking slot for me so that vibhuti reaches those innocent villagers who are getting the treatment. We have that vibhuti with all of us. We know that vibhuti prasadam of Bhagwan how significant it is. It saves the lives. We have seen in the toughest of the times, COVID times, how vibhuti has been acting as sanjeevani for each one of us. Dear sisters and brothers, we can go on speaking endlessly in our lives. But one thing which we all need to do is we have to be near and dear to God. And for that, we have to change our lives. We have to be His to make Him as ours. And this we can only do when we carry out the word of Bhagwan, serving humanity and transforming our lives to be better and still better human beings. With prayer to all of us and Swami, please make our lives pure and dedicated so that we justify our very existence of being called Sai devotees. Sai Ram.